So good morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste experience. Welcome to the Namaste opportunity. Yeah, opportunity. The opportunity to see the light, the beloved, the divine in each one of us. Now, we can have an opportunity, but we have to choose to take that opportunity, don't we? We can be given a gift, but we have to choose to receive that gift. So this gift of the truth that surpasses all form, everything in this world, that opportunity is always before us, but we have to make a decision. So today we are going to make a decision to see as God sees, which is the only way that is possible to see, because otherwise all we're really seeing are the projections of our own mind, our own limited consciousness. And so I want to begin today with one line that we shared yesterday, because I think this one line holds the key. It's like a door opening into eternity. That if we could just truly fathom and receive the gift of this one line, the rest is downhill. And wouldn't that be nice? Don't you always love when you come to the top of the hill, now you can go downhill? The rest is easy, effortless. And the truth and reality itself become effortless when we align our will, our mind, our vision with that of what we're calling God. Whatever God is, however you envision that, or don't. It is what it is forever, and it makes no difference how I define or relate to that. It is what it is. So here's the line that we shared yesterday. Everything that exists is perfect as it exists. Everything that exists is perfect as it exists. And nothing that does not exist is real. Let me say that one more time and just breathe this in as if it's vapor in the room. Everything that exists is perfect as it exists. And nothing that does not exist is real. And herein lies the peace of God, once again. It is this experience that allows us to step forward into an eternal awakening that is wholly unlike anything you could ever know or experience in this world. It is embracing this fully, uncompromisingly, that allows us to step into our whole mind. And isn't that the only thing we do here? We hold hands as we step into wholeness. We come together every morning to be lifted into that holy vision. And we can see it everywhere. All we need to do is to open up our eyes. We've said this before. Perception, or the ego, is like just walking around with blinders. We can't see what's right in front of us. But if we can enter into the experience of what we just heard, that everything that exists is perfect as it exists. In other words, I need change nothing. I don't need to do anything. We talked yesterday about never correct anyone. Never correct a brother or sister. That is high. That is a very high, difficult, seemingly difficult thing to do. To never correct anyone. Imagine that for a moment. The next time someone says something that you know is wrong, that you know is completely off, are you able to just let that go and realize it has nothing to do with reality itself, and I am focused only on that? Me trying to change anything, and this is uncompromising, it's very difficult for many people, me trying to change anything, whether it be global warming or violence or whatever it may be, my desire, my need to change it is what binds me to this illusion. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be guided to affect some, whatever you want to call it, It doesn't mean that you're not going to be placed in the perfect position to heal, to bless. But it's the need to change where we get lost in the idea that it's not perfect exactly as it is now. But my willingness to enter into the experience of that is what catapults me into a world where sickness and disease and everything else ceases to even be an option. So once again, everything that exists is perfect exactly as it exists, and nothing that does not exist is real. So the need to change anything is the desire to not see that which is seen by God, to not see that which is seen by the divine, by wholeness, by oneness. And isn't that really what our desire is now, to see only that which is real? So, we come together here every day at Namaste Village, and what do we do? That's a good question.
Nothing.
We pray, we what?
We need to do nothing.
We need do nothing, for sure. We just join, right? Isn't that what we really do? We just join. There's magic in the joining, especially when the joining is that single focus, that single desire to know the truth. And then we go forth from this moment into our lives, whatever it is we're doing. And those of you who are watching on Zoom or YouTube, we go about our lives, whatever it is we're called to do, and we bring the scent of this gift with us. And if you're really living this, people will notice. And it's like a call to them. When they sense this energy, it's a call to them that there's something else. There's something that they could receive. But it comes from your willingness to be uncompromising. Once again, the idea that I don't need to ever correct anyone, that's a radical one. It means that when I watch the news and there's something that someone says, we won't mention any names, that just drives me batty, I don't need to change it. I don't need to change him or her or whatever it may be. I just need to see them as God would see them, as whole, as complete. It has nothing to do with the role that they're playing. It has nothing to do with the costume. But me and my egoic mind thinking that I need to change them, it means I'm giving value to that. I'm giving value to the role. If you were in a play and you were in a scene where the villain character has done something terrible to you, would you go off stage, take off your costume, and then slap him in the face? I hope not. That's taking method acting a little too far, don't you think? Method acting, as you know, is you become the character. We are the greatest method actors in the universe. Do you realize that? You have been given a role, a character to play, and you have bought it completely to the point that you have forgotten who you really are. All we're saying over and over is take off the costume, lay aside the role. Don't try and hold anyone responsible for what was said on the stage. Just leave the stage. Now, what does that look like? I don't know. We can't know. That's where trust comes. It begins with surrender. I'm willing to let go of that which I thought was real. Surrender completely into the real. Once again, the need to change anything is the desire to see as God does not see. But my willingness to be present with however it is, with whoever it is, and have no need whatsoever to change them, to correct them, to help them. Did you hear that one? See, that's where it gets real subtle. I'm not trying to change them, I'm just helping them. I'm helping them to see something that they don't see. You see how tricky it is? That's not your job. Your job, my job, is simply to see through the mask to who they really are. Do you remember when you were young and we would go trick-or-treating on Halloween? And back then the masks were not all that sophisticated. They were kind of hard plastic, and you'd have a little thing around the back that would hold it in place. And the eye slits were very distinct. And if someone came to the door as Superman, you would say, "Oh, Superman, how wonderful, here's some candy." But what would you do? You would look through the eye slits, and when you would see that innocent child underneath. If a villain came to your door wearing a mask, would you say, "I don't like you, you're not getting any candy, you're a bad person"? Of course, that poor kid would go away crying. You don't honor the mask, you honor what lies beneath the mask. The child, the innocence that is there beneath it all. And what would happen if we treated all the roles that we play here at Namaste or anywhere as just masks that we wear? But we choose to look through those slits to the holy, innocent child beneath. You know, we talk so much about innocent or original sin. Original sin is the idea that you did something wrong before you even got here. And now you need to be cleansed. You need to change. And the way I was taught, the way many of you were taught, if you didn't get baptized, you were in big trouble. You had to actually have the ceremony. I even learned when I was a kid that in a situation of great need, any lay person could baptize somebody else. So I can remember my grandmother didn't get baptized because she was Pentecostal, and she never was baptized, or at least she wasn't baptized a Catholic, which, you know, to me there was a difference at that time. And I can still remember she came to visit, and we were all in the station wagon together. How many of you had station wagons when you were? Okay, a lot of us. So I'm in the very back, and Grandma is sitting right in front of me in the back seat. And so what I actually spit on my hand, and without her knowing, I baptized her. Because there was a great need. I didn't want my grandmother to be unbaptized. I mean, she was getting old. She might die. I mean, look at the insanity of these ideas. Poor grandma is going to suffer eternal damnation unless I spit on my hand and rub it in her hair. This shows us how insane this becomes. The insanity of the ego. If I let it play out. But we don't have to let it play out anymore. Because we're ready. We finally are able to get this one thing. Everything that exists is perfect as it exists. And if it's not perfect as it exists, then it's not there. It's not real. Just stay with that. And honor everything that you perceive that is real and whole and true. And no matter what happens, no matter what they say, no matter how they act, just love them. Don't correct them. Don't try and get them to be any different than they are right there. And you know what? That would be the greatest gift that you could give to them. How often have you tried to correct someone and it went well? How often does it go well? Not very often. They usually look at you like, "Who are you to correct me?" But what if you just love them exactly as they are, looking through the slits of that mask to that holy, perfect child? Oh, I remember I was talking about original sin because there's another aspect of that we so often forget. Anyone know what it is?
Original innocence.
Yes, original innocence. What happened to original innocence? How did we lose touch with that? That which happened before the fall. Original holiness, original innocence. But what we are saying resolutely is that nothing changed. Nothing ever changed. You are innocent now and forever. My favorite line in my favorite movie, Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, is when Pope Innocent III looks to Francis and says, "So often in our obsession with original sin, we forget original innocence." So let's remember that today. When you remember original innocence, the need to change anyone or correct anyone disappears. You're able to just love what exists, what is perfect, what is seen and known by God. And a miracle happens in that moment. And isn't that what we're here for? We're here for that miracle, that transformation where my mind shifts. I'm not trying to get your mind to shift. It is only about my mind shifting into that state of wholeness. And then I become the vortex that pulls in everything around me. I become the tornado that won't allow any slippage, that won't allow any error. And you don't need to do anything. You simply need to be innocent.